G'day everyone, welcome to Roo Hammer Season 2 Episode 50. Thank you so much for joining us. Just want to give a very special shout out and welcome to all our Patreon supporters as well. It's your generous support that makes our show possible and allows us to bring you the show on this format through Restream and Zoom. So very special shout out to you guys. Thanks for joining us. Mate, how's it going?
Yeah, good, mate. Good evening, everyone. I just want to echo those thanks to our wonderful Patreon subscribers, mate, whose support does allow us to do what we do here every week, which is bring everyone the best Warriors content on all social media platforms. So, yeah, welcome to the show, everyone. Hey, Christian. Hey, Richie, how are you, mate? Richie Sterling. Hi, Mum. Nice to see you tuning in again.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Thanks, everyone watching us on Facebook and YouTube as well. Very special show once again, one of those shows that we love doing, and that's with one of our Warriors' current stars as well. Very fortunate tonight.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, we do love these live chats that we get with the current and former players. Why don't you add him to the chat, mate? And
let's bring him in.
I'll introduce him to our followers. So tonight's guest has played 26 NRL games over 4 seasons, with 23 of those in our wonderful Warriors colours. Over the past 3 seasons, he's scored 4 career tries, played New South Wales under-20s, and is a junior kangaroo. Please welcome Warrior 244, the merchandise, Jack Murchie. Hey, Jack, how are you, bud?
What's up, boys? What's going on?
Yeah, thanks for joining us, mate. Yeah. Thanks heaps for coming on, giving up your time. We really appreciate that. Mate, we'll take it all the way back to the start, at the beginning of your rugby league journey. Can you tell us a bit about where you grew up and who your junior club was?
So I grew up in the sort of Batemans Bay, Ulladulla area, which is on the south coast of New South Wales. Played my first ever game of footy for the Batemans Bay Tigers down there in Group 7. Then played there for a couple of years and ended up moving to Ulladulla, which is half an hour up the road, and played all my juniors for the Milton Ulladulla Bulldogs down there. So yeah, it's a good part of the world and a good place to grow up.
Yeah, that South Coast, growing up on New South Wales South Coast, beautiful place, and playing in that Group 7 competition, it requires a fair bit of travelling because it stretches from like Milton Ulladulla all the way up to Warrilla and everywhere in between, like Jamboree and places like that. How difficult was that as a young fella? Like you could travel up to 3 or 4 hours for a game of footy. Yeah.
Yeah, it is a big drive. It's a Group 7 covers a pretty large area. I don't think I really noticed it too much to be honest as a kid, but my mum and dad probably noticed it a lot driving me every weekend. I think they were doing all okay, but I didn't really notice. I was just loving my footy.
Mate, you played? You played the SG Ball for the Roosters, and you won the SG Ball competition in 2014. How'd you come to be at the Roosters?
I think I ended up playing from the Milton Ulladulla Bulldogs. Got picked in the group, no, not the Group 7, this Country Rugby League under 16s or under 18s team. Yeah, it would have been under 16s. Got picked in that, and then from that carnival, I think I got signed by the Roosters from there, and then I ended up just going up there. I travel up on a train every Friday, do captain's run with the SG Ball team, and then play on the weekends. So it was a pretty good experience. Definitely eye-opening for someone like me coming from Group 7. Obviously the footy isn't as high down in those country areas. The level of footy isn't as high in those areas as this city. But no, it was a really awesome experience. And yeah, we had a gun team actually with a heap of guys that go on to play heaps of NRL and stuff. So yeah, we ended up winning the comp, which was a massive bonus as well.
You were a centre back then?
Yeah, centre winger. I'm still a centre now. Actually, on odd day, so yeah. Inside help.
That game's actually on YouTube. That grand final, that SG Ball grand final. I watched it a couple. I watched it a couple of weeks ago when I was looking for my doing some research, and I was see this little fresh-faced Jack Murchie running out in the centre. Mate,
it's a good game actually.
You move on.
It's pretty back and forth.
Yeah, it was. It was a great game of footy. Was Latrell in that team?
Yeah, he was. Yeah, playing fullback.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah.
A
lot of familiar faces. 2017 was a big year for you. because you represented both the New South Wales under-20s and you played the junior Kangaroos. The New South Wales 20s you selected in the back row, and New South Wales victorious over Queensland 30-16. You score a try. Tell us about that experience.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy actually. It's a lot of people talk about Origin, about being like this massive like game, and it's sort of hard to describe, but something sort of comes over you when you're playing in that blue jersey. It's pretty cool, even though it wasn't the real thing, like just only 20s Origin. But yeah, it was an awesome experience, and we ended up winning as well, which was sick. Yeah,
that team was stacked with players that went on to become NRL regulars, like Victor Radley, Cam Murray, Ruben Garrick, to name a few. Must have been a great experience it must be a really good experience to be playing with the best of the best in your age group. And you said it's not the real thing. It is the real thing. It's still Origin. It's just Origin under 20s, mate. But it must have been fantastic to just earn that blue jersey and playing that game.
Yeah, it was definitely one of the funner games of footy I've ever played in, and it was awesome to play at Suncorp as well. Get that atmosphere and stuff on Origin night. It's something special. So yeah, it's cool.
A bit of a taste. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
for sure. Mate, you also represented junior Kangaroos in the 46-22 victory over the junior Kiwis. Tell us about that experience of representing your country.
Again, that was awesome to just be recognised amongst your peers as someone that gets to play in that side. And obviously, you see the teams in years gone past, there's been some real strong sides. So just be mentioned in that company was awesome. And it was a great week in camp, and got to be around a few of the senior Australian players as well, which was awesome. And got the win again. So got to go win.
Was that the game that Chanel did that ridiculous backwards scorpion kick?
Nah, he's younger than me, so that was probably the next year.
That was 28.
I saw that, but that was pretty crazy.
Get him to do it again.
It makes you think to do that. Far out. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah. When we had him on, he said that Stephen Kearney told him never to try that in a real game of footy. So
I don't know how much the coach would like it, but if it works, it works.
Absolutely. Mate, 2018, you're playing for Mounties in the Intrust Super Premiership with a good mate of mine, actually, Mitch Kennedy. How did you find the step up from like playing junior rugby league, so to speak, to virtually playing against grown men?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. It's definitely, it's probably the collision, I reckon. You're just playing more against sort of seasoned men, so it's just a lot of like heavier collisions and stuff. And I reckon the game improves a bit as well, because the skill level's a little bit more even, whereas like in under 20s there might be some really gun players and some players that aren't quite up to it, but you get to that sort of cup level and there's just a heap of like really steady players most of the time. So everyone sort of gets a bit better, but it's a good experience playing cup. You definitely want to remember.
Well, another step up in class. Obviously, you're selected to make your NRL debut for the Canberra Raiders in round 19 against the Sharks. How were you told by Sticky, and describe those feelings at the time, leading up to that game?
I think it was back in the year against Cronulla, and sort of I called into a meeting, and he sort of stood up like to do a big presentation, and then sort of flicked my photo of me up on the screen and stuff, and sort of told me, and they videoed it and sent it to my family and stuff. So it was crazy. It's hard to describe, like, because it's something you've been dreaming of and working towards your whole life. Like, there's a lot of emotions happening, but it's just awesome, mate. I'm just it's undescribable. It's weird, but the best thing is just ringing your family and getting to tell them, because they're the people that have worked behind the scenes for you the whole way, and you wouldn't be there without them. So that's probably the best thing, being able to ring them and have them celebrate it with you.
And what do you remember about the game itself?
Not much. It's a bit of a blur, actually. I come off the bench and playing second row. I think we ended up losing controversially, like through something to do with a ref and a try or something, and then that sort of ended our season. But it was an amazing experience, and I'll remember that to the day I die, I reckon.
Yeah, mate, you played 2 games that season, and then just the one game in 2019 for the Raiders. I dare say breaking into that Raiders team as a first grader would probably be a difficult task because of the caliber of back rowers and middle forwards they had at the time.
Yeah, I think so. I just need to get game time under my belt, and we had a lot of seasoned quality first graders there in my position. I think 2 or 3 of them were international players for their respective countries in my position. So, yeah, I sort of had to go elsewhere for an opportunity, which I did, and I'm glad I did it. It's worked out well for me. Got 20 games under the belt of the Warriors so far.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, speaking of the Warriors, your name had been brought up, I think, as early as 2019 as a possible recruit. But anyway, 2020 season rolls around and it stops almost as quickly, obviously, because of the COVID pandemic.
Yeah.
And then in May, the Warriors announced that they have signed you from the Raiders. So how did all that come about?
I think, if I remember correctly, we stopped training that because of COVID, and I was just working with one of my mates down in Canberra, just doing a bit of roofing and stuff, just to keep busy. And then finished that, and we went back to training, and I think I got a call from my manager just saying that if I was interested in an opportunity with the Warriors, and sort of just what I thought about it, just told me to have to think about it and get back to him within a day or so. I just thought about it, and I just thought it would be good for me to get an opportunity to play some more, or get some more NRL experience, play some more games. And I spoke to some of the coaches at the Raiders, and they agreed as well. That's what I needed. So, yeah, I sort of made the decision to pack up all my stuff within a day almost, and head straight up, drive from Canberra to Terrigal to meet the boys at the start of the season there, and haven't looked back yet, I guess.
Yeah, you because you joined the Warriors, you after they relocated from Tamworth to Terrigal. Strange experience meeting new teammates midway through a season, and especially going through what they were going through as well.
It's definitely different.
Yeah.
Definitely a different situation, because usually you have that, you've had a full preseason with everyone or whatever amount of time, you already know each other and you've got relationships and stuff like that. But it actually wasn't too bad because of the setup where everyone was living together. So there was sort of had a lot of time together. So I got to sort of make up those hours quickly. Whereas if it had been all the boys weren't living together, then it might have been harder, because I'd just be seeing them at training, and then you might not see them away from training, but because we were living together, eating dinner together every night, staying together, doing stuff together. So, yeah, it didn't take long to get to know everyone.
Who did you room with during the 2020 season?
Josh Curran and Jermaine Noel Brown. And then Kevro was in there as well when he was there.
Mad Jack.
Yeah, Jack.
Apparently one of the fastest men in the competition.
Yeah,
he's quick over a short distance. I saw that article.
Yeah, so over the short distance, he's the fastest prop in the game. Unreal.
Yeah, he's a good player.
Did you liken Terrigal to the New South Wales South Coast a little bit, mate? Like a seaside town type of thing?
Yeah, I did remind me a bit of, obviously, because it's closer to Sydney, it's a little bit busier. It's only that hour commute. So there's a bit more happening there. But the small little coastal town did remind me a little bit of Gerringong, but obviously a lot more busier and a lot more build up.
Yep.
But yeah, it was a really good spot, and all the locals were really welcoming and stuff. And made a few good friends there. So it's a good spot, good part of the world.
Yeah, fantastic. And your Warriors career, you hit the ground running, because you play in the first 7 games after the competition restarts. And your first game is a round 3 victory over the Dragons. What do you remember about your club debut for the mighty Warriors?
I remember being stoked after it because we won. I hadn't won in the NRL yet. I was like 0-2 or something. So yeah, I was pretty happy with that.
0-3, mate. 0-3.
Yeah, I was happy with the win. So yeah, it was good. Good for the boys as well, coming off all the adversity that they'd sort of had up to that point, like being relocated and all that stuff. And yeah, just being able to turn up and put a performance together was something special.
Yeah, because the Warriors' first 2 games before the COVID shutdown, we lost 20-0 to Newcastle, and then it was almost the same scoreline against Canberra. We scored 1 try, and it was a penalty try. Really hadn't
all the injuries they had as well. I think in that short space of time there, they lost a heap of players, like just at training and stuff.
A lot,
But yeah, to be able to just band together and do that, yeah, it was cool.
That game was spoken about because of the Warriors' near perfect completion rate. Because I think we went 44 sets or something like that without a mistake. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it was you that made the mistake.
I saw you laughing, isn't it?
Yeah, I got it stripped, mate. It should have been a penalty.
We challenged it, didn't we?
Yeah, we challenged.
Yeah, it got stripped, and then I was like in the scrum, and I was saying to the ref, "It got stripped, mate." And the bloke that stripped it, like, patted me on the shoulder. He's like, "Sorry, mate." He's like, "Yeah, that was a strip." And I was like, "Come on," he's just admitted to it, and I didn't change the call. That's refereeing, but yeah, I think I did. We nearly had the record, I think so.
Yeah. I think we got it this year against again.
What's that?
I think this year we got it this year against the Dragons again. I'm pretty sure we got nearly close to 100% this year. Yeah.
Have we got the Dragons round 1 this year?
Yes.
Yeah.
We do.
Yeah. Yep. Mate, that as you said, that doubled as your first NRL victory. Did you know the words to the team song, or did you have to read them off a sheet of paper? How did that work?
I read them off a sheet of paper. I think it was up on the wall or something. But I hadn't been there long, so I had a fair excuse. But yeah, agree.
Yeah, of course.
If the boys just drag you along and help you with it. So
yeah.
Yeah, there's a few other boys that I think had to ad lib it as well that season as well with all the lone players.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah. But it is a bit of a turbulent start to your Warriors career because 4 games in and Coach Stephen Kearney's sacked, and we've spoken to a few of the boys about this time. What are your memories of it?
Yeah, it was a pretty crazy experience. I didn't really see it coming. But yeah, it was crazy. To be honest, I wasn't really ready for it, but you just got to roll with the punches. That's professional sport, I guess. And Muxie was good to me, and was a good bloke. So yeah, did see it.
Yeah, absolutely. And Toddy Payton is handed the reins as the interim coach. How did you find his coaching style?
Yeah, he was good. I really like Toddy. He's really honest, up front and stuff with you. And like I said again, like Muxie, really good bloke and easy to get along with. So yeah, no, it was awesome.
As we said, mate, you played those first 7 games straight from the resumption of the competition. For you personally, that must have been a great feeling to play some regular first footy, as you said, get some footy under your belt and in the legs.
Yeah, it was awesome. Yeah, it's good to get those footy in there and just string those games together, which is what I was sort of aiming for.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did miss a few games, but then you were named for the round 15 game against the Bulldogs, and it's a game where you excel. And in a 48-minute stint of the bench, you score 2 tries, ran for 73 metres and racked up 32 tackles. That was an amazing performance that day.
Yeah, it was a fun one, actually.
Yeah,
I had a good feeling coming into that game when I was in the sheds, actually. I just felt excited and then went out there and sort of straight away, I think scored a try early off a kick or something. Confidence was up, and then, I just rolled with it from then. And me and Cody played well off each other that day, backing up, and, he was on fire as well. So, no, that was definitely a fun one.
That first try was a throwback. You said you were a centre and a winger. Well, that was a throwback to your winger days because you soared through the air and plucked the ball out and got dotted down for your first try. Yeah,
it was awesome. It was pretty cool to score my first try. I like to score it in like a double, end up scoring 2.
Yeah.
I think I went close to getting a hat trick as well. Maybe I just didn't end up getting across the line, but no, it was awesome.
Are you a good poker player, mate? Because when you got up after that first try, no emotion. You showed no emotion like you do it all the time.
That's a bit me, mate. I'm used sometimes I'm pretty emotionless. I don't know. I just don't. In the moment, I'm just like processing. I guess I don't know. I was definitely happy, but
of course, I
wouldn't be able to fake it. I'd struggle faking a try, but like if I'd bobble the put down or something, like I'd probably have to like really put it on.
Yeah. It was one of those games too. You said you nearly got a hat trick. Paul Turner nearly scored a hat trick on debut that day.
Yeah.
He was fantastic. Mate, in the second half, you set up Adam Pompey's try with a little flick pass to Petahiku down that right edge, and he sent Pompey away. And then, as you said, you get your second try backing up Cody, who makes a right side break and passes the ball back on the inside. That was all in the space of like 4 minutes, a mad 4 minutes in the life of Jack Murchie. How do you remember those key moments yourself?
Yeah, it's funny how it can all happen within a short space of time, eh? But I don't know, I just remember getting the ball for that flick pass one. I just remember getting it off Cody, and I sort of just got it early, and I sort of just a bit of instinct. I just skipped overs, and then I just saw Laffire come to me, just like commit himself to me. I could just feel wet there on the outside. It was open, so I just flicked it and was able to get it on the money. Or was it Wets or Pet? Maybe Pet. I think I flicked it to Pet.
It was
Wets
Pet.
on the wing.
Yeah,
I flicked it to Pet, and then Pet went through, and we were able to score from it. But just felt right at the time. Didn't have to think about it, so I just did it.
Every time I see that jersey reminds me of that game, and that game reminds me of you. It hangs proudly in my room. It's one of my favourite jerseys, and for some reason, mate. I mean, that was just a sublime performance from you that day, and that kind of I'd make that synonymous with that jersey.
Oh, thanks, mate. That's pretty cool. It's a awesome jersey, that one as well. Actually, that's probably one of my favourite ones that I've collected over the last 2 years. I think I'm going to get that one framed up with a couple of photos from the game as well, like first try and that. So should be good.
You should.
Yeah, the merchandise. The next game is pretty special as well, because we returned to Tamworth, and a game where everything just clicked, and for a comprehensive win over Newcastle. How do you remember that performance?
I remember it being hot out there. Out at Tamworth. I think we that was that sort of time where we went on a bit of a streak, didn't we? Hit a bit of form and had a few good games. I remember it being tight in the first half when I come on. I went up for a kick to take another kick to score a try, and ended up bobbling it. I didn't get the put down, but it was good. And then after we got through that, through that tough part in the first half. We got into that second half, and everything sort of just seemed to click for us. Roger was doing Roger things, just running them. It
was unreal.
Hot stepping, and that was definitely another fun one as well. It doesn't happen that often. Or it hasn't happened for me, where you really get on top of teams and blow them out. When I've been playing, obviously it happens with other teams, but I haven't played in a game like that many times. So it was awesome feeling.
Mate, as a Warriors supporter, and you as a Warriors player, you'll know that it doesn't matter what we're leading by. No lead is ever safe. It's we're that kind of team. No lead. I think
that's any side in the NRL really, just because they're all pretty even on. God, they can be on their day. So if you switch off, the teams can come over the top of you. But another good thing about that Tamworth as well was for the way they looked after the boys when they did their quarantine stuff out there. It was good to take that game out for the town and put on a performance like that for them. Which was good.
Mate, unfortunately, the Warriors' dream of a finals appearance comes undone within our next 6 games. We lost to Para, Cronulla. Next 3 games, sorry. We lost to Para, Cronulla and Canberra, all close games.
We were still in it, I think, another one.
Yeah, and that was probably the thing that really encouraged all of us as supporters, especially that Canberra game, because the Canberra game we knew we couldn't play semis, and the team had every right to just give up and wish that they were home, but I think we only got beat by 8 points or something in that game.
And Rog got injured in the first half as well. I think he did his hammy as well. Yeah.
What was it like playing against your former club?
It was pretty cool. Being able to go back and play at Canberra as well that first year after I'd left, was definitely awesome. We didn't end up winning, but it was amazing to get back there and copped a few jeers from the fans, which is good. And caught up with a few mates after the game, had a few beers. So, it was awesome.
Good.
Well, round 20 against Manly is a great win and a great way to send off Adam Blair for the final game of the season. How do you look back on your first year at the club, at the Warriors?
Yeah, I love my first year there. I've loved every year at the club, but I feel like there was a few special moments for me in that first stint at the club in that first season that were pretty memorable for me. So yeah, it was definitely a season that I'll cherish.
Mate, preseason for 2021 started. It was really weird for the Warriors because we had two groups training in two different countries. You were down with the group in Kiama. How was your preseason for you in Kiama when you started?
I was obviously wanting to be together, training with all the boys like in one group, but it actually worked out pretty well for me because my family live in Gerringong now.
Oh, okay.
Which is like, I don't know, 7-minute drive around the headland from Kiama. So I was just at home and driving to the training in the morning in Kiama. It was pretty crazy. I never would have thought that I'd be doing an NRL preseason at Kiama with the Warriors if you had told me a couple of years ago. But yeah, that was awesome. Just to me, and I would get to spend that extra time at home with my family and then get to train at the same time, something I've never been able to do. So yeah, I was pretty stoked with that.
Yeah, mate, the squad comes together and you do preseason again at Tamworth. Some of the Kiwi boys really struggled in that central New South Wales heat that you mentioned earlier. How did you cope with it?
Yeah, I think we all were feeling that. It's definitely hot out there in summer. Some of those, we were doing few wrestle sessions in the afternoon, like when the sun was at its peak. It was pretty hot, eh? But it's sort of it's a good mental strength thing just to get all the boys together and push through it. So, enjoyed it. Tamworth were really welcoming again for us. The chef there was cooking up a storm where we were staying. He was amazing, so that definitely helped.
I think it was a better environment for the squad this year too, because even last year when they were still under that quarantine lockdown, isolation and so forth. Whereas this year they could actually do a little bit more within the community, which I think probably was a lot better for them. Going back to Terrigal, mate, familiar surroundings?
Yeah, it was good getting back to Terrigal. I think everyone was pretty ready to get there after however long we spent out there in the dry heat at Tamworth. Everyone was sort of licking their lips for a beach. The start of the season was awesome. Great spot, great staff, really amazing. Looked after all the boys, and obviously it's 5-star there. So yeah, the rooms are amazing and stuff. So yeah, really grateful we got to stay there again.
Who was your roomie this time round?
I had Jackson Fry and Ewan Aiken.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Ewy's a South Coast boy too, isn't he?
Yeah, he's far South Coast, a little bit further down. He would have played, I think it's Group 16 he played in, which is next to Group 7. But yeah, It's all South Coast, really.
Yeah.
One thing that was introduced in the preseason to help unite the squad was the cultural nights. How did you find those, and which one stood out for you?
They were awesome experience just to learn more stuff about the boys and their cultures, because you know that they're all there, but you never really get a full night like that where they do activities and explain it and stuff. So yeah, it was definitely a good initiative by the club or the leaders who come up with that. And I don't know, I enjoyed them all. I think there was a basketball shooting one. I think it was Fijian or Tongan maybe that I really enjoyed. And they put a few themed like feeds on as well. The chef was cooking like Tongan food on Tongan night and Fijian on Fijian and stuff like that. So yeah, there was some different foods I got to taste as well, which was pretty cool.
Yeah, the Islander food's awesome. Absolutely awesome. Yeah. Oh, mate. Yeah. Yeah. I've learned how to do hungies in my little slow cooker at home. It's
Yeah. It's amazing, eh?
Yeah. Mate, you missed the first two games. Your first game of the season was round 3 in that come from behind against the Raiders. That was another weird type of game where they lost, 3 players, only had one on the bench. They were up by, 20 odd points, and we ran them down. What do you remember about that game? Because I think Peter Hiku got injured that game, and you ended up playing out in the centres.
Yeah, I told her I'd play in the centres, mate. I remember. Raiders were going well, and then they had a few injuries, and I was feeling a bit sorry for some of their middles because I was playing massive minutes. But sort of worked well for us. The back end of the game, yeah, they were sort of gone, and we were way fresher and just sort of rolled through them. And Wet scored that mad try to put us in front, and then they sort of got the ball back, Canberra somehow, off a short kickoff maybe.
Yeah, short kickoff.
Yeah, defended our line for a bit, and then Rog saved that try on Rapper in the corner.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was awesome. Pretty big game, and all the boys were stoked after that. So it was good confidence building.
Yeah, it's a victory we needed, definitely. And it was hot. It was hot that day. It was really hot.
Yeah, it was a good day for footy, but
yeah,
it was hot, but it was a nice fast track, and GIO Stadium's a great ground to play at. And I think that we had a pretty full stadium then as well. It was like before the city outbreak of COVID, so it was good to get a big crowd in, and so it was good for me to get a win back at Canberra.
Yeah, it was just. I think there was a bit of COVID around at the time, because I remember after the game we kind of got ushered straight out of the park. They wouldn't let us hang around to see you boys come out of the sheds afterwards. So I think
rules.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
This season, you were in and out of the game day 17 and named 18th man on a few occasions. That has to be the hardest, sitting and waiting and knowing that unless something tragic happens, you're probably not going to see any game time.
Yeah, it's definitely it's a weird one, because you got to prepare like you're going to play, even though you're not going to play. So it can be easy to be complacent and sort of like think, I'm not going to play, and not fully prepare, and then you end up playing and you're underdone. So yeah, you just got to stay on the ball and just be ready for anything, I guess.
I'm curious, and I don't know if you can answer this or not, but when you're named in that 21-man squad on Tuesday, and then you're either left out of the game day squad or you're made 18th man, is there much of a conversation from the coach or the coaching staff as to their reasons, or is it, Jack, you're not playing this week and that's pretty much it?
The coaches have a talk.
From a fan's point of view, we don't know.
And explain to you like why what's happening and what you need to do to sort of be playing and that. So yeah, they give you plenty of feedback as to what you need to do.
Follow-up question. When you finally get some game time, do you feel added pressure that you've got to maybe perform to or do something miraculous or memorable in that game to hold your spot?
Not really. Sort of just try to do my job. Like, it's, I don't really go out there like thinking, I need to do this and do that to be in the team. I sort of just need to go out there and do my job. It's NRL after the end of the day. Like, it's the best of the best players. Like, if every guy goes out there and does their job, like, you win games. So
yeah,
you got the best 17 players the New Zealand Warriors can put together in the whole of Australia and New Zealand. So each bloke's just got to do their job, and then hopefully good performance come off the back of
that.
Yeah, absolutely. During the 2021 season, you played in two of the heartbreaking 1-point losses that we had this season against Manly, against North Queensland. How hard are those games to get over? And are you like us fans, and at the end of the season, analysing it and saying, the what-ifs, what could have beens of the season that you could have got us to the finals?
I definitely analysed the Manly one, because I think it was me. I had a carry with like 2 minutes to go, and it was wet weather, and Josh Alloway absolutely got up underneath me and popped the ball out, and then we ended up losing. It was a bit disappointing for me, and sort of had a bit of a think about that for a bit. Was copping a few sprays in social media DMs, but you just move on. That's footy. For games usually, I know they're decided sometimes by that one play, but it's not in the overall scheme of things. There's plenty of other things that happened in the game that led to us being in that situation. So you just got to take what's happened, put it in the past, and just move forward and look towards next week.
Mate, the move during the season from Terrigal to the Gold Coast, how did you find that move and adjusting to life on the GC?
It's pretty easy to adjust to, isn't it? There's a good lifestyle out there. But the first couple of weeks in the quarantine it was maybe was a little bit of an adjustment, just something new, and just being around other clubs 24/7, not just your own club, but having to share facilities and do all that. But once we got through that, it was pretty good. We got to go to those. I'm not sure if you've seen those solar apartments in Gold Coast where they put us up, but they're pretty flash. So once we got there, it was sick. Like, all the boys are loving it. Playing poker in the team rooms and that together, and just sort of really enjoying it. And good training facilities and that around there. So it was good.
We saw a bit of that on Chatty Townsend's vlogs on YouTube.
Yeah,
you behind the scenes, you boys playing FIFA and poker, and Rhys Walsh giving you all haircuts.
Yeah, he's a good fella, Chatty.
Yeah, really good guy.
A few times and was picking up a few things. So it was good to have him, and he's a great player. Yeah,
for sure. When we had Cam George on a few weeks ago, he said that to bring a level of normality back to you all, you've sort of been left to find your own accommodation arrangements for season 2022. Redcliffe, have you found anything for yourself?
Yeah, so me and my missus got a place in Redcliffe, sort of a 3-bed, I think you'd call it a townhouse. But, it's nice. And I was sort of been a bit of a hassle, actually, because I've been stuck down here. I've had to move, organise to inspect it. I'm someone else to inspect it because I obviously can't do it. Organise all my stuff to be put in there, moving trucks and all that sort of stuff. But it's all in there now, ready to go. So I just got to get my negative COVID test and get up there in quarantine on Sunday and start setting my house up in the 2 weeks I've got locked away.
Yeah, that'll be good. Yeah. Mate, I don't know if you're aware, you're an extremely unique case in the NRL. You've played 26 games of NRL footy, and you've never played a home game at all. All 3 games for the Raiders that you played were away games, and every game for the Warriors has been here in Australia. It's an amazing stat.
It'll be on a bottle cap or something, I reckon, in 10, 15 years. The Carlton draft stubbies on the inside of the cap. Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Trivia question. That's a trivia question for sure.
Drake, that answers your question there. Drake Chris Art was asking that in the chat as well. You must be looking forward to getting back to Mount Smart finally.
I am keen to get to Mount Smart. Yeah, I've played there. I don't even know if I've played at Mount Smart, to be honest. I might have been like an 80th man there for first grade once, but whenever I've played the Warriors, we've played them at other stadiums in New Zealand.
Yep.
So I've never actually played at Mount Smart. So I'm keen to get over there if I obviously end up staying at the club again and just getting to experience it. But I guess I'll get to see it during the season, eh? We're going
Penrith,
over the season,
round 15. Yeah, so we got
15.
Against Penrith. We got five scheduled games there.
Oh,
sweet. So you get to go.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
Especially, I want to see the people behind the scenes as well, working at the club, and sort of I get a proper feel for it, because I feel like I've sort of missed that a little bit because I've been stuck. Well, not stuck in Australia, but I've been here in Australia, and you obviously can't have all the staff here. So it'd be good to experience the club properly and experience the country and stuff.
Yeah, Dingo said last year when beginning of the year when we had him on, that they set up at Terrigal like photos and pictures of the setup at Mount Smart, so that you guys could kind of see what it's like, not having been there.
Yeah, they did do that. That helped. Definitely helped a bit. But you can't beat being there in the flesh, can you?
Nah, absolutely not, mate. Tell us a little bit. What's it like? I mean, you've come into the Warriors organisation for the past 2 years. You get to play, a good chunk of your footy with a guy like Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, who, is a legend of the game. And what were your feelings like when he kind of announced that he was going to be heading over to rugby? Was that a shock for you, or?
Yeah, it was a bit for me. I didn't really see it coming, but all the best to Roger going off and chasing his dream. He's a super talented player, and loved every minute playing with him. He's a freak. Just makes stuff happen out of thin air. But I wish him all the best. I'm sure,
mate. Whether you play centre or back rower next year, there's a guy coming to the club that loves linking with those edge attackers. A guy by the name of Sean Johnson. You must be excited to be able to play with Shawnee?
Yeah, 100%, mate. Growing up, I obviously watched him playing a lot, and silky skills and just highlight reels happen around him. So I'd love to be on the receiving end of a few passes for a couple of highlight reels. That'd be nice. Score a few more tries. So yeah, I'm keen to meet him and get to work with him, I guess.
Yeah. I think he flew out this week. Him and Stacey have.
The two SJs, Air SJ, touchdown
on the plane.
Brisbane.
How good's that? The private jet.
Oh, mate, yeah, I don't know if that was for SJ or for Stacey. Stacey didn't. Stacey looked out of place.
Why don't they get me a private jet?
No, I don't know. What are you?
Economy somehow.
We'll see what we can organise.
few more years maybe.
Speaking of which, mate, as he said off air before we come on, you're not back in Queensland with the squad at the moment. You obviously came down to New South Wales to spend some time with the family at the completion of the season, and you're still down here. Tell us what the path is for you over the next couple of weeks, getting back up to be with the boys.
So I'm going for a negative COVID test tomorrow, which will be within the 72-hour time frame. I'll get the negative result back from that. Fingers crossed. So if I don't get a positive result, I feel pretty good. So hopefully I'll get a negative result, and then just got to go online to the Border Pass website, Queensland Government, put in my flight time and date and all the info around my flight, then put in my double vax information, and then the negative test result, and should be good to go. Fly up on Sunday. Then I'll land on Sunday about 10 o'clock, and then I think the club's going to organise me to get to my house somehow. I'll have to figure that out, and then, I'll get to the house and then set up all my furniture and stuff in the house, and I think they're going to put a treadmill and some gym stuff in there for me, so I'll be able to stay in Nick, and then, I'm just in the house for 2 weeks. I'm probably can go, I think I've got to leave just to go get a COVID test every 3 or 4 days, but that's about it. Apart from that, I'm not allowed to go anywhere. So, hopefully I'll get up there and get set up and get back into it.
Yeah, it'd be good.
Yeah. So, mate, how have you been spending your time since the season finished? Because a lot of the boys play golf. We've spoken to Josh Yukara, and he says him and a few other boys like to play a bit of golf, and a lot into online gaming. Are you into either of those?
I used to be into online gaming a fair bit. I used to play a lot of Call of Duty and Fortnite and that with Joshy, and I think Tohu's gotten right into it at the moment. He's been doing streaming and stuff, but it's weird. I've sort of gone off the boil a bit with it. Haven't even played. I bought a PlayStation 5 and I just sat in my room, didn't play it for about 6 months, so I ended up selling it. And then I've been getting into golf a fair bit. When we were living in Terrigal last year or so, we were playing at this course called Shelley Beach in Terrigal.
Yep.
With me and Joshy and Jacko Fry and Ugake and that, and playing there probably once or twice a week every week. So I was really enjoying that. And that's pretty much what I've been doing here back home. Just playing a lot of golf, catching my mates and stuff. But I need to work on it. I'm still not the best golfer in the world.
Well, it's one of those games, mate. You can never be too good at it. That's the thing.
I know. She's a tough game.
Yeah, she is. Yeah.
Yeah, all right, mate. Well, look, I'm going to go through and ask you some rapid-fire questions that we ask all of our guests while Hammer here scrolls through some of the comments from our viewers there.
Yeah.
All right. So, who was your toughest teammate?
Toughest teammate? Toughest teammate? I don't know, John. Jackie Wine's pretty tough at the Raiders, and Adam Blair as well. He's a tough warhorse. He's played a lot of games. So those two.
Yeah, definitely. Who's the best sledger you've played with or against?
I've played a bit with Hudson Young at the Mounties. He doesn't want a sledge.
Hudson Young. Okay.
He looks like a sledger.
Yeah.
He gets it good.
I think we know who you might say here. Who was the biggest pest?
You and Aiken.
You and Aiken?
Really?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Who do you think I was going to say?
Jazz.
Oh, everyone says Jazz.
Nah, Jazz is all right. Probably Yui. Probably just because we're real good mates.
Yeah.
Oh,
Always
okay.
just pestering at each other.
More of like an in-joke kind of thing. between
Yeah,
the
more
boys.
just like good mates sort of thing.
Yeah, fair enough. Who was your toughest opponent?
Oh, the Dale Finucane's tough. Like, he's a small player, but he just goes all day. Like, just throws his body into it, and you can always feel it when he's trying to tackle you. And obviously, someone like Jason Taumalolo, huge, and then mobile at the same time. So it's a pretty lethal combination.
Yeah, definitely. Who's the most professional in regards to game preparation?
Channel Harris Tavita's pretty professional, and Roger as well. Yeah, they're pretty.
Roger, of course.
Game. Yeah.
Who's the best trainer?
Sean O'Sullivan. He's pretty good at training, eh?
Okay. An SOS. Who is the team comedian?
Sierra and Jazz. Pretty crack up on their day. Eh? Crack a few jokes. Yeah, I'd probably get those two.
Okay. Yeah. And who is the worst trainer?
I don't know. It depends what we're doing. Are we doing skills or fitness?
Fitness. Give us either.
Either, yeah.
No, I don't know. Depends. Everyone's got their day, I guess. I don't want to single anyone
out.
Probably.
We get told Tohu.
Yeah, Tohu comes up all the time.
Oh, actually, yeah, it's Tohu. Maybe he's just I don't know. He's just that much of a gun. He doesn't really even need to train. He could probably just sit on the card all week and watch us train, and then jump in and play 80 minutes in the middle, make 50 tackles, and run for 150 meters. Bloke's a freak.
A couple of questions coming through the live feed, but I've got a question for you. Have you seen the new gear yet? The new training gear?
No, I've seen a couple photos of it. It's Puma now. Hey?
Yeah, for sure.
Looks pretty
good.
Awesome.
Yeah, I've seen a few photos on maybe a couple social media sites of the boys training in it. It looks good.
Yeah, you haven't seen you haven't seen the jerseys for next year yet?
No, I haven't.
Neither have we. I was just asking.
Yeah, we were hoping you'd be. Give us a few clues.
Can't help you, boys. Sorry.
Okay. All right. A couple of questions here. What do we got? We've got Drake Chris says, question for Murch. What are his goals for next season? And if it all goes well for him, where does he see himself in the next 12 months?
Obviously the goal is to just try to play in first grade week in, week out. And even if that's coming off the bench, but the main goal would be to try to be starting somewhere and cement down the position because I think probably one of the biggest things in the NRL is consistency, because there's a lot of really good players, but just whether you can do it consistently week in, week out. So, I'll be working on that.
Christian asks, which young talent are you keen to see progress next year?
I'm pretty keen to watch Nella, Taniela. He goes. He's really young, but he's showing some really good signs. Some really good skill out of dummy half. He's he was only even last season. He was just playing Colts, and he was a young fella, but he was just as he progressed through the year, the back end of the year, he was starting to get more and more deceptive out of dummy half, and was pulling some of the boys' pants down who were experienced first graders, played over 50 and 100 games. So it's no mean feat. So I'm keen to watch him progress.
We have got some good young talent coming through him and Rocco Berry.
Rocco Berry, another one.
Villy Valea. Ed Cozy. Some really good young talent coming through. Mike Harrison asks, would you work on your speed over the off-season to secure a centre spot?
Yeah, definitely would. I like playing out in the centres, whether it be centre or back row, but some quick centres running around, so I might have to do a few more sprints,
Everyone's favourite.
I've got some mates up in Queensland that are ex-sprinters that do some training, mate, so if you need some training, just let me know. I'll hook you up with them. Speaking of jerseys, this is from Nick McKercher. Which colour scheme do you like better, Jack? The black, style, but that's behind Rob there, or the traditional colours?
It's a hard one, I think I like the black because you got the matching socks and that. You get a white pair of boots. It looks slick, I reckon. Yeah, so I'll probably go the all black with the white.
Nice.
Interesting.
Do you personally? Oh, sorry, Rob. What were you going to say?
No, I was just saying that's interesting because I think they're both pretty awesome kits. Yeah, one's the heritage and the other one's the sort of the middle portion of our time in the NRL. So they both represent different things. So yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I like them both. I'll probably choose the black one.
Yeah. McCurch has come up with another one. What is Rhys Walsh's most impressive on-field attribute?
I don't know. He can probably answer that himself. He's pretty good. I don't know. He's a good young player coming through. Got heaps of skill and just one of those players. Stuff seems to happen around him. So yeah, no, he's awesome having the side.
Do you have any pre-game rituals or game day routines? Like, are you superstitious in any way? Have to do the same thing?
I like to get a good night's sleep the night before. And I had in the 2020 season, I went for a phase where I was having this real set breakfast. I was having 3 eggs, 1 bit of toast, and half an avocado with just a little bit of salt and pepper barbecue sauce, and that was my breakfast. And I was stuck with that for ages. But I sort of come on and off with stuff like I'll roll it for a while, feel good, and then sort of change to something else. So yeah, nothing too major.
But you don't have a thing like you got to put the left sock on first, and then the left boot, and the right sock, and the right boot, and that kind of stuff.
Nah, nothing stressful like that, mate.
Wear the same budgie smugglers every game until you lose, and then throw them out or something like that.
Nah, you'd be surprised. There's actually quite a lot of players like that, but yeah, I'm not one of them.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I was like that. I had to put my left sock on, my right sock, then my left boot, my right boot. I wore the same undies or budgie smugglers until we lost, and then they got thrown out until get another pair. So yeah.
So this question's all based on you every time we ask.
No. I'm just.
I should be asking you questions, mate.
Yeah.
I'm just curious as to whether there are still superstitious people running around in the NRL. What was your most memorable moment in your career so far?
Probably that Bulldogs game. Yeah, scoring a double, good win, setting one up as well, and then that was something special. Besides my debut, I guess.
Yep. Who were or are your rugby league heroes growing up and now, I guess?
Well, growing up, I always liked to watch Luke Lewis play. He's sort of like skillful centre back rower and seemed like a really good player. And I guess you could probably say my dad probably a footy idol of mine when I was younger as well, because all kids grow up. Well, most of them, their dad plays footy, and dad's sort of the one that helps push them into it. So yeah, I guess you could say that.
Who did your dad play for?
Just Bates Bay Tigers.
Oh, okay. Question coming through, but we answered that. What other hobbies or pastimes do you have away from footy? You said golf. Is there anything else that you're into?
Golf. I got back into when I was growing up. I used to surf a little bit, not heaps, just a little bit after school with my mates. And then when me and Carl Lawton were living at Terrigal in 2020, we got back into surfing a little bit at the back end of the year when we were allowed to. So we got become good mates with the surf shop owner there in Terrigal, Bowie. He's a good fella. If you're ever in Terrigal, get down to Ocean House Cafe, check him out. Good spot, good coffee.
Yeah, we'll do.
He hooked us up with surfboards and that. And we were getting back into surfing and stuff. Me and Carl, which was it was good.
If you hadn't have become an NRL player, what career path would you have taken? Do you think?
I don't know, mate. Who knows? I sort of had sights set on footy, and then I just wanted to do footy. I sort of mucked around school a little bit because I thought I just felt like I'd crack it at footy, and worked hard enough, and I did. But I'm sort of realising now that you've got to have that backup as well. So I'm trying to get some study in and stuff like that. I'd like to be probably a firefighter or something when I eventually down the track. Fish playing.
Yep. Couple more questions coming through. This might be a difficult one to answer. Can you describe the different coaching styles, Brown, Pat, Peyton, Kearney, and Ricky?
Geez, that's a hard one.
Yeah.
I know it's hard to say. They've all got their different ways about going about it and doing stuff, but they're all good, real talented coaches in their own right. And enjoyed my time under all of them. So yeah.
If Nathan Brown could get a past Warriors player to come to the training to talk to the boys and fire them up, which Warriors past player would you want to show up? No pressure. We've only had 265 of them, so
Ruben Wiki would be good.
I was just going to say,
Wiki, but
yeah,
he had a lot to do with the club, and obviously a great player in his day. It'd be good to meet him, and looks like he could give a good rev up. Actually, some of those carries I've seen him when he takes the kickoffs and that, screaming his head off. He looks like he'd be able to
Sparta.
Yeah. He's fitter now than he was when he played too. He's a freak, that guy.
Is he?
Yeah, oh mate, yeah.
Speaking of motivational speeches, is it true that Gus Gould, right before Rodgers' 100th game for the club, gave you guys a sort of a big motivational speech that got you all fired up for that game against the Dragons?
Yeah, he did actually come in and had a good chat to everyone, and sort of just talked a bit about Roger, and then a bit about the season, a bit about the club, where we wanted to go, and it was definitely like spine-tingling experience. Like, it was pretty cool. I remember, it reminds me actually when I used to sit on the couch and watch Origin as a kid, and Gus would do pre-Origin, like similar like that. But I was in the moment there, and part of it was really cool. And we obviously got the boys up because we got the win the next day.
Yeah, absolutely. Who has been the biggest influence on your career?
Probably Brett White down at Canberra.
Okay.
Sort of went there as a kid and had him coach in 20s, and sort of taught me a lot of things around training, discipline, and just showed a lot of faith in me. And we're good mates today, even after I've left Canberra. And I have a lot to thank him for. And he's definitely a great coach and someone, I'm really grateful that I met.
That's awesome, mate. One question. During the season at Terrigal, when we got a whole heap of tried to get a whole heap of home support for you guys at those games. Could you guys hear those songs that were being sung during the games?
Was that when there was like someone singing on like a big speaker or something?
No. It was just the crowd. The guy on the speaker was going over the top of the crowd, but the crowd, they organised buses to come up from Sydney. They bussed like 2 and 3 bus loads of supporters every game. Yeah. And they all learnt songs that were written by one guy. Yeah. And I was always curious whether the players could actually hear that out on the field.
I think that does ring a bell a little bit in a few games. Sometimes it's hard, but because you're like, mate, you're that tired out there. Like, it's hard to maybe hear it when you play. And when you're on the sideline and that, if you're on the bench or you're just warming up on the sideline, you can definitely hear it. But but when you get in the game there and it's really quick, sometimes it's hard.
Yeah. All right, Jack. Mate, we want to thank you for coming on and chatting with us. We love being able to connect with our current players. Mate, we have a saying here on Roo and Hammer that those who have played for a club are forever and always. And Jack Murchie, you are forever and always Warrior 244. So thanks, bro.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate your time, Jack. Thanks very much. Great to chat with you.
My seniors up at where are we playing round 1 in Redcliffe? Am I seeing you up at Redcliffe?
No, you're Sunshine Coast.
Sunshine Coast. Yeah, you'll be seeing a lot of us.
Yeah.
Right.
We're going to try and get along. We're going to talk to Cam and hopefully come and get along to a pre-season training as well, and just have a bit of a catch up. But mate, you'll definitely see us up at Redcliffe. You'll see us at Suncorp. You'll see us at Sunshine Coast, and hopefully you'll see us at Mount Smart too. So,
sweet, awesome. We'll catch up for a coffee or something, mate.
Absolutely.
Yeah, brother. Thanks, Jackie. Right. Appreciate it, mate.
Thanks,
Jack.
Cheers. Have a good one.
Cheers, mate. Yeah, bye.
The merch.
The merchandise himself. Yeah, another great chat with one of our current stars, and that was interesting. there is a centre has been a spot that we've kind of struggled with, and he was pretty adamant that he's a centre, so it's exciting. That's a good challenge for him, I think.
Absolutely. Yeah, there was an interesting comment that came through in that live chat too. I don't know if you saw it. Where is it? It says, guys, do you really have a policy of the fans on this page not being allowed to provide negative feedback towards a certain current or past Warriors player during a live broadcast?
Yeah.
Kind of confused as to what that means. We look, basically we get these guys on to chat about their careers, whether it be the past or current players, to chat about their careers, give them a forum, an open forum to, discuss, their careers and what's happened in their careers, how they've got to where they are. It's not, for us, it's not we don't discuss, intricacies of their game or what they need to work on or anything like that. It's not what the live interviews are all about. But if you've listened to our game reviews and game previews, we call players out when they don't play well. We talk about things like that they need to work on, and the players all and the management and staff of the Warriors all watch our show, our webcast. So we don't dance around subjects, so to speak, but I don't see the point in bringing a guy on who's giving up his time free of charge and connecting not only to us, but to our fans and everyone and Warriors fans who watch this, to bring him on and criticize him about his gameplay. I can't see where there'd be any benefit in that.
Yeah, look, we just ask that everybody is respectful. And as you said, like during our reviews, we call out the bad performances and we make note of, incidents that occur and players that probably need to improve. But yeah, I mean, obviously, in no way, shape, or form do we condone openly giving it to these guys, especially when they've given up their time. So but we do encourage healthy debate, of course.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Our fans and supporters. Yeah, as I said, just as long as it's all kept respectful.
Yeah, absolutely. We love an honest debate about certain things, but when people are coming on to discuss, their career, and we talk about key moments in their career or key things that have got them to where they are. So that kind of constructive criticism about gameplay or stuff like that, probably not warranted on the live broadcast with them or live interview. But yeah, that's just us. That's just our belief, and we've worked we say it all the time. We've worked very hard to be in the position that we're in to connect with these guys and have them trust us enough to come on here on a live show. We've got to remember it's not pre-recorded, and they don't get legged up on the questions that we're going to ask. So they're answering their questions legitimately and off the top of their head. It's we appreciate all those that come on, and we're definitely not going to stitch them up in any way.
And look, we're definitely open to and encourage your feedback. So thank you as always, all you guys, for your comments and suggestions, and we take note of all of it and take it all on board. So thanks to you guys. Yeah.
Okay, Mike Harrison's got a question, which is great because we're going to head into Warriors news. So we can probably start off with, he says, what do you think the chances are of our two 2023 recruits coming for season 2022? For those living under a rock, we have signed Murata Niokore for a 4-year contract.
4-year deal, yeah, 2.5 mil.
Which
commencing
worked out
2023, as you said. Yep.
Yeah, $625 a season, I think his is. And we've signed off on a 2-year deal commencing 2023 as well. In answer to your question, Mike, my thoughts are I can see Metcalf coming next season. He's only on a development. Callum McGill says, that's exactly what I meant by the question, guys. Perfectly explained. Thank you very much. Oh, cool. No dramas. Thanks, mate.
No worries, mate. Yeah, and thanks
appreciate
again.
it.
Thanks for your feedback.
Yeah. Yes, I can see Metcalf coming. He's only on a development contract at the Sharks. So there is a good chance he could come a year early, which would be an interesting piece to our halves spine jigsaw puzzle, because he can
especially
play
his injuries.
5'8" hooker. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nia Corey, I'd love to see him come early, but I got a funny feeling he'll feature quite heavily in Parramatta's plans next year.
Yeah.
In a run to the semi-final. I also think that Parramatta would want some sort of compensation, whether it be a player swap or a money. And we do have quite a few of edge back rowers, one of which was just on the show. So, there's a possibility that somebody could be offered to Parramatta as a replacement. So
he's played 77 games and he's been a key contributor for them as well. So that's why, as you said, they're probably less likely to give him up than, say, someone like a Metcalf who just made his first grade debut last year. And again, it depends on the whole injury scenario as well at each club. Like the Sharks, depends on the Sharks' backup for their halves.
Yeah,
but I wouldn't be surprised if at least one of them is with us at some point in 2023.
Yeah, I'm
2022.
glad.
Sorry, I got ahead of myself.
Yeah,
2022.
I'm glad that's been announced. I think there's a lot of talk about Joey Manu, and I don't think Joey Manu was a realistic chance of ever coming. I couldn't see him leaving the Roosters. They've brought him through the grades. He was a young kid from New Zealand, and at the time, Spencer and Carmen Taplin were involved with the Roosters, and they were doing the home parent pathways development thing. Roger went through that with them as well. So I think his affinity with the Roosters is pretty close. His relationship with Nick Politis is obviously very close. I can't see Joey leaving at this stage in his career.
Not this time around. Like, I think he may end up playing at the Warriors at some point, but it just won't. But I just don't feel it'll be right now.
Will he be a Maddie and tour our facilities numerous occasions and never come?
Yeah, we should have asked. We should have told Murchie, if you want to know what Mount Smart's like, just ask Stevie Maddie.
Callum McGill, TK says, we watch these shows for positive things about players, personnel. Can't wait for the new kit and praying we get a game, let alone 5 games. Any game's a bonus at Mount Smart. Absolutely.
Just take one, at least one. Yeah. Can understand that. Yeah.
Callum McGill says, do you guys think here and now that Rhys Walsh will have as good a season that he had this past season next season?
We have a delayed start. Yeah. I think so, but he's out for the first 2 games?
3 games.
3 games, sorry, yeah.
So he's got a 3-game suspension, so he won't be back in round 4. He'll be hungry. He'll have a full preseason with the Warriors under his belt.
Yes, fair point.
He'll be a year older, a year wiser. Probably the biggest thing that Walsh is going to have to overcome is the fact that the opposition players have seen him. They know what his skill set is. And that's what defines a great player, is when you've got this skill set that other players know about, but you can still pull it off week in, week out. And that's why guys like Jonathan Thurston, Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, Sean Johnson in his prime, everyone knew what he was going to be doing and he still was able to do it.
You couldn't stop it. Yeah, that even kind of happened to Rhys towards the end of this season as well. Like, you could see that people were kind of a bit more ready for some of the stuff that he does. So it's a big challenge for him, but I reckon he's up to it. Yeah. Darren Lockyer as well, yeah.
Yeah, it coincided with when Roger left, because while Roger was there, we still had that 2-pronged at the back type thing. Roger could jump in and do something, Rhys. But once Roger went, it was all on Rhys. And he's going to have to learn to overcome that. I think Rhys's biggest obstacle will be, I think he needs to put a little bit of size on. He's just a little too small for my liking. But again, like I said, he's only 19, so he'll fill out over time. Other Warriors news, mate. The Kepu twins, Kinner and Valingi.
Yes.
have had their contracts upgraded they're on development contracts for next season, 2022, and they're on full contracts 2023, 2024.
Could they be our Saifidi twins?
Mate,
Our
they're
answer
big
to the
boys, aren't they?
Saifidis or the Burgesses, yeah, massive boys, yeah. Be great to see them get a shot at some point in the year, and some new young talent coming through on the forwards, raw-boned front rowers.
I think I read somewhere that they're actually coming out next year to join the full roster in training and may play at Redcliffe. That's yet to be confirmed. I know there are some players that will come out, but that's a big one for the Warriors to hang on to some local juniors. There was a bit of shit on social media pages this week because we lost another player to the Melbourne Storm, but mate, we can't hold them all.
That's it, 100%. And a player that probably most people who read that article had never heard of until they published that article. I can't believe we lost that guy.
Can't remember his name. And as expected, as we said a couple of weeks ago, that would probably happen. Taniela Otokolo has gone from a development contract to a full NRL contract, now part of the 30-man roster until the end of 2024. So that's a big one for the Warriors for our spine next season.
Yeah, definitely. With Temple Kalipo supposedly taking up a deal with the Knights, who was initially named in the 30-man squad. So it seemed only natural that Taniela, who'd played a couple of games in first grade, 3 games, I think, maybe this year, would get promoted, because that leaves, because without him in the 30-man squad, that was just Wade Egan, and then you're looking at guys like Cody and Jazz to fill in at hooker, and they're probably both, I know Jazz is a reluctant hooker, and Cody, but we know Cody excels, but probably more as a 14. So, so it's good. Yeah, really, really good to see that, building more depth in the squad.
Yeah, and as Murch said when we had him on, the picture of Sean Johnson on the private jet. Stacey Jones has joining the club or the squad now as the full-time assistant coach for 2023. Craig Hodges has been moved from his role as assistant coach into the football manager's role. It's a role that they had earmarked for him for 2023 anyway, but have brought it forward to 2022 because of the sudden resignation of Peter O'Sullivan. So him moving into that role opened up the full-time assistant coaching role. So Stacey's come in to take that role on for 2022. Wondering if that means Hodges will now do a lot of the recruiting stuff that O'Sullivan has kind of left behind for the Warriors. But interesting.
Interesting to know who is looking after that.
Yeah. Well, I think we're at 26 now with Otokolo being brought in as on the full-time roster. I'm pretty sure we're sitting at 26 players. So
do we leave a spot or two open in the off chance that one of the boys that we've signed for 23 does get released?
Possibly. Callum McGill, I'd personally like to see you both introduce a show in the Māori language. My dad has been teaching me it, and I'm getting pretty good. Bro, I did a beginner's course. So I don't feel confident enough to be speaking it fluently at the beginning of this webcast. And Rob's an Aussie. He's not a Kiwi.
I got no idea. Sorry.
Yeah, he's. We both live in Australia too. So you won't get Rob speaking Māori at the beginning of a show.
Sorry, Cal.
you could get me doing an intro next year once I do a bit more practice.
Challenge has been thrown down though.
Yeah, challenge accepted, Callum McGill. So and in talking about Stacey going back to coaching, there's a couple of other legends that have been signed up by their respective former clubs in coaching positions, mate.
That's it. Joey Johns returning to the Knights, the favourite son. They're on the Knights coaching staff, and how big a boost would that be for their halves, especially after with Mitch Pearce being released in the last couple of days.
Yeah.
Who better to come in and mentor the young whippersnappers there at the Knights? And no better teacher of the trade.
It's just the perfect fit. I could never understand why the Knights had never really reached out to Joey in that capacity. And he was at Manly. Was he? No, he was at Parramatta. Yeah,
he did a bit with us as well. He did a little bit with Sean Johnson, I think, back in 2012.
Yeah,
as well. So he's been around for a few different sides and in a sort of mentoring role. But yeah, man, it's like a glove, isn't it, for Joey Johns to be back there?
Yeah, and Jonathan Thurston has been added to the coaching staff at the Cowboys, which can only help. Guys Drinkwater and Chatty Townsend and who else have they got up there? Who was playing 5'8" for them? Tommy Dearden.
Dearden, yes, of course. Yeah. I was about to say Clifford, but he went to the Knights, didn't he? So,
yes.
Clifford will be benefiting from the tutelage of Joey Johns there at the Knights.
Guys, do you think with the new team it's going to water down the recruitment pool, especially for the Warriors? As in the new team, as in the Dolphins coming in? Oh, absolutely. Mate, I've said all along, I don't think there's enough top quality first grade talent going around to have 16 teams. I mean, and now we're going to have a 17th and then possibly an 18th team. So it's interesting. It's an interesting one. But, we spoke all season about the massive void between, the top four and then the next two, and then the big gap to the bottom eight. So I don't know. I think there is going to be a watering. Again, you're going to have a lot of young kids coming through now too, who will be able to get an opportunity. And some of these kids might have been lost to first grade. That's the thing. It's one of those things, isn't it? I mean, if a kid doesn't get picked up, they could have been the next greatest player, but they don't get picked up in the interim and they get lost to the game. So, yeah, interesting one.
Yeah.
Hey, boys, you can open the show by saying a hello in a different language each week, maybe. Shut up, TK.
Look, I know a little bit of Tagalog, Filipino language, a little bit of Chinese, and a little bit of Spanish. So I could maybe chip in with that at some point.
Well, we can say konnichiwa, we can say hola, bula for the Fijian.
Hola, yeah. We can learn. My neighbour across the road, he's Samoan, speaks the Samoan language, so we'll get him to teach me some things as well.
Ofa'atu.
And my Tongan mate, Lyndall, shout out to you. Yeah, you teach me some Tongan, and then I'll.
Kia ora, Māori mai. Yeah, we got a couple. We'll throw them out. Should we be chasing All Black Sevens players? Yeah, who signed an All Black Sevens player?
So there was a winger that signed with the Storm. I can't remember what his name is, but he went to the Storm, and apparently, it was we've missed out on the next big thing again. So. You can't blame a player wanting to sign with the Storm, though.
Look, if you're going to be chasing sevens players, you've got to be going after the Fijians, don't you?
Yeah. We got Junior Ratuva. He looks to be the total package. I'm definitely excited to see what he can produce.
Yeah, absolutely.
Warburton. That's it. Thanks, Alf. Yeah.
Sad news this week. Keegan Hipgrave, former Titan and current Parramatta player, only 24 years of age, been forced into early retirement due to concussion. That's a very, very sad one. He's had a couple of knocks, and to have his career ended purely out of the safety and the want to live a full and complete life. Very, very sad.
Very unfortunate for the young fella. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, the porn star Keegan Hipgrave. He does have a porn star moustache. Yeah.
When he played for the Titans, he had like the shaved head, and he was a bit of a loose unit, wasn't he?
He is a loose unit. Yeah,
he's a man as a cut snake.
Yeah. I think
he grew his hair back. Yeah, he grew his hair back
with the Mad Dog. Yeah, his best mates with
yeah.
the Mad Dog. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he did grow his hair back.
He wasn't the same guy.
No, it's like Corey Parker. Remember when Corey
Yeah,
Parker?
yeah, Corey Parker was bald.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. And I remember at the time I showed my dad a picture of him. He goes, "No, that's not him."
Yeah. And then you brought up yesterday when Owen Guttenbill first started. He had
Yes. I remember him. Like, it was funny because I'm sure he had dreadlocks. That pic you gave was from '96. Was that when he was on the Kiwi tour?
Yeah.
He kind of had like a lot of people don't remember either that Seal, Seal the singer used to have dreadlocks as well. And he had a haircut sort of similar to his, like it was sort of shaved at the sides and then had the sort of the dreadlocks hanging down at the top. I think Owen had something similar to that. So
Carl Tomato too, didn't he?
Carl Tomato, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He popped up on Facebook somewhere. I think I saw a pic of him. He doesn't have the dreads anymore. It's like,
no, they're
couldn't be all. Yeah, but I think most people just remember him bald, slapping on Ned Kadich's chest, saying, "Cop that big time."
Callum McGill says, how much do junior participation numbers in rugby league compared to soccer and AFL affect the number of really high-quality players coming through the junior systems? Oh, huge. If they're not playing as juniors, then, we're losing out. And we do lose out to soccer and AFL because they're safer sports. Rugby league has now got, league tag and they've got, the mini and mod games and stuff like that. The problem with the mini and mod games, in my opinion, is having coached mini mod and international rugby league is it takes away the natural evolution of halves and 5/8 because they wear bibs, they can't get tackled, they have to pass the ball twice, that kind of thing. It kind of takes away from eyes up footy, just my opinion. There's smarter people than me that run these programs and that. So will we be getting Owen on the show? We have reached out to Owen.
Absolutely. We'd love to chat.
The thing is, as Rob and I have said, there's 265 people that have played for the Warriors, and we've probably had 25 of them on, if that. And our goal is that at some stage to get most of them on. There's a couple of one-game Warriors that...
That'll be hard to track down, I think.
Not only hard to track down, it'll be a hard conversation to have because we've only got one game to talk about in their career.
Remember that game? Remember that game?
And nothing against our one-game Warriors.
Yeah.
They're
everyone, all part of the family, the whānau.
Absolutely, yeah. But, having a in-depth conversation with Doc Murray might be a bit hard when or Steve Buckingham or somebody like that.
Yes, Meti Nouveau.
Meti Nouveau, Aaron Lester. Guys that didn't play many games. It could be a bit hard, but
we've got to get
know who they are.
We've got to get your namesake. We've got to get Mark Carter on.
Oh, he could be a hard track down.
Very hard. Some more just on while we're talking about rugby league news. The QRL equal pay commitment did come through this week as well. So Queensland Rugby League has delivered on the commitment it made last year to provide equal remuneration for all players who represent the Queensland Maroons in a breakthrough for aspiring Maroons. Elite female players who take the part in camps and are selected to play in the State of Origin series for the Harvey Norman Queensland Maroons in 2022 will earn $15,000, so the same amount as the men's match fee. Yeah,
it's it was caused a lot of controversy in the news media. A lot of male, whether fans and ex-players and personalities, kind of jumped on it and said that it wasn't warranted. It doesn't bring the same money as the men's game, but it's got to start somewhere. And I think this is a great initiative. It's not that the players get the 15 grand straight up, so it's broken up. I think it's something like five grand when they get named in that wider squad of like 20 something players or 30 players. When it's nutted down to the actual Origin squad of 21, they get another 5 grand, and then the 17 game day 17 get 5 grand. So, some players will get 15, but others will get 10, and others will get 5. but it's a start. Ex-Warriors All Black Mark Carter's horse won the Melbourne Cup this year, part owner.
Is that right?
That's from, is he from my part of the world? So Mike Harrison, my family's from Foxton, and I know the horse, Very Elegant's from Foxton. I know Waller's from Foxton, and I know J-Mac, the jockey, is a Foxton boy. I'm just wondering whether that Mark Carter is from Foxton, and if he is, he could actually be a relative.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. That's
get your second cousin twice removed on the show then.
Yeah. Callum, do most of you go? Yeah. So that's great. It's going to be interesting to see if the New South Wales follow suit in regards to that. But we will have to wait and see. But yeah, it's got to start somewhere. And the women have a massive year next year of footy. And what a lot of people don't see is, I know like the teams in the New South Wales Rugby League. No, Harrison's born and bred in West Auckland. Okay. Not Mike Harrison. Mark Carter. Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of the women's teams in that New South Wales domestic competition, the Harvey Norman Women's Premiership, they're already in pre-season training now. It's quite interesting because some of those girls are actually training for two teams because the NRLW teams have all started their pre-season training. So, I've seen someone like Maddie Studden has been at training with the Parramatta Eels in the NRLW, but she's also training with the Cronulla Sharks in the Harvey Norman Women's Premiership. So, yeah, there's a lot of stuff. And people don't see this. Like these girls going back and forth between two clubs and two teams. They definitely need more recognition. But I could do a whole show on Women's Rugby League.
Yep.
I have done a whole show on Women's Rugby League. Don't get me started on that now.
Just before I forget, and jerseys have come up a fair bit tonight, and I meant to do this last week, but I would like to give a massive shout out to Johnny Kalolo, who hooked me up with this fantastic jersey you can see behind me. This is the 2008 home centenary of league jersey, and it's very special because it has a signature of Sonny Fye on it. I don't know if you can see it.
Can you show us?
That's it.
Yep,
that's it. That's it there. So I'm very honoured and grateful to Johnny. We organised a jersey swap, and he said the jersey would look much better on your show every week. So thanks very much, mate. We really appreciate it, and it's our honour and privilege to have such a special jersey here behind me.
Absolutely.
So shout out to you, Johnny.
Awesome, mate. Yeah. Thanks, Johnny. Mate, we've got a couple of live guests to finish off the season. Yeah.
Very exciting, mate. We've got next week, we have the 24th of November, we have Grant Ravelli, former Warriors halfback, played for the Cowboys as well, but played in 2007 and 2008. His signature is actually on this jersey somewhere. So he'll be joining us for a chat next week. That'll be awesome. Mark Horrow will be the following week, Wednesday, the 1st of December. Be great chat with Mark Horrow.
Yeah, great man involved with Kiwis Rugby League and the Māori Rugby League, New South Wales Māori here in Sydney. Does a lot of things for pathways and developments for young Kiwis coming through. So that'll be a really good chat.
He played 96 and 97 with the Warriors, and his son Justin played for the Eels and Manly as well, didn't he?
Correct. And his other son Jaden was in the Manly system, and this year all three boys, Justin, Jaden, and Jordan, all played for Belrose Eagles in the Sydney Shield competition. So yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And we're going to finish the year on the 8th of December. That'll be our last show for this year. Who we got on, mate?
Mate, we're very excited to announce that on the 8th of December, we have Premiership winning coach Ivan Cleary coming on for a chat. Now, that's going to be awesome. Like, absolute legend of the Warriors as both player and coach.
Yep.
Played in the grand final in 2002 and coached us to the grand final in 2011. We're talking all about his rugby league career from back in the Manly days through to the end of his playing career at the Warriors, and then his foray into coaching the Roosters, the Warriors, and then obviously most famously with the Panthers as well. So I can't wait for that. He was one of my favourite players, one of my favourite Warriors of all time. Ivan Cleary. He's so safe and dependable and a fantastic goal kicker.
Yeah, also played for my Bears, mate.
That's right. Yeah, he did. He played for the Bears a couple of years there. He was solid wherever he went, whether he was playing in the centres or fullback. He was just such a reliable player.
Absolutely. So yeah, three really good chats to finish off the year. Grant Ravelli, Mark Horror, Ivan Cleary. Then we're going to have a bit of a break for a couple of weeks, recharge our batteries, and then we'll be back late January, early February, just before the women's competition kicks off in late February.
Yeah, that's right.
Still trying to hook up a couple of interviews for early next year with guys that are just a little bit busy with their current coaching commitments, Ali Lauatiti and Robbie Mears. So
Robbie Mears,
hope to start the season off with those guys next year for chats. But yeah, very, very excited about our final three for the season. Ivan's been one that we've been speaking to for the last couple of weeks, just trying to nail down a suitable time. And he got back to us about 15 minutes before we went live tonight to say, "Yep, let's lock in the 8th of December." So
we'd get him on any time, no matter whatever time Ivan wants to do. We'll get him on for you guys, and
absolutely,
he's such a fantastic chat. I can't wait for that one.
Really, yeah. Ken Wills, Ryan Hoffman, or Stephen Kearney would be great to get on the show. I've reached out to both. There was a question before, someone, I think it was Callum, asked, do we have to persuade guys to come on the show, or are they happy to come on? When we contact them, the current players are obviously the easiest ones to get in touch with, because we do a lot of face-to-face during the season, and they obviously know who we are. So yeah, we can chat to them. Like Jack was kind of organised way back in round 5 or 6, and we knew we were going to have him on at some point. It's just a matter of getting through the season. Same with Josh Curran and Jazz. The former players and stuff there's a bit of work involved in getting in touch with those guys. So I do a lot of contact behind the scenes, but it's generally throw the question out there and allow them to come back. 90% of the time they come back within a day or two and say, "Yep, sounds great. Let's do it." And then there's some that you contact and for various reasons they just don't get back to you. I spoke to Ryan Hoffman and Stephen Kearney both face to face when we played the Storm this year, and both indicated they'd be keen to get on. But at the same time, I've sent them emails and so forth and got nothing back. Brent Webb, trying to get him. We're very lucky that once we get a player on who has a really great experience with us on the show, they're very keen to help us get in touch. So
thanks, Pricey.
Pricey got us Tatey got us Grant Ravelli. PJ Marsh got himself on. He popped up.
That's right.
He's great mates with Brent Webb. So we're going to try and get Webby through.
A lot of the O2 guys, haven't we? We've been very fortunate. And obviously another one with Ivan. Yeah.
Yeah, Campo's good mates with Ivan. So we used our friendship with Campo to get in touch with Ivan. And just on Campo, he loves everything we do. What's that, Nicole? Just off topic, Hammer, allow me to buy you a beer, hot stuff. Oh, okay. Hook up with Jerry. See you. Yeah, we've spoken to Jerry. Here's another one. So, like I said, a lot of these guys, Jerry does his own podcast as well. So it's just timing. But yeah, most of them now know who we are and know the platform we provide for them's a safe space and an open space for them to be able to come on and chat about their careers. So, Mark Horro, for instance, we did a bit of an appreciation post for him the other day. He contacted us, said thanks. I basically said, mate, we'd love to have you on the show, and we locked in a date and time all within 20 minutes. So
sort of went from there,
yeah, some guys are easier to get on, and others are not so easy. But like we said, there's 265 Warriors. I think there's like maybe 25 or 31 gamers that we will kind of skip. So it leaves us about 220 guys that we definitely want to get on and interview on this show, and we've kind of gone through a lot of them. Yeah,
slowly but surely. Yep.
Yeah,
Isaac John.
Yeah. His podcast is one of the better ones. I like watching his podcast.
Really good. Dan and Kemp as well with his bloke in a bar.
Yeah, I like Dan and Kemp's. I like follow Clarkey. I think Clarkey's stuff is great. Andy Raymond's stuff, very very.
Yeah,
good.
Love Andy Raymond. Yeah, love his chats.
Chatty Townsend stuff's awesome.
His vlogs, check out his vlogs on YouTube. He had some great behind the scenes ones. I said before from their time at the Gold Coast and everything. So bit of showing Rhys Walsh. He's showing his sick fading skills.
Hammer, you sly dog. Always knew that you were the man. The ladies all love the hammer. Thanks, Caden. I'm wondering what beer you're going to buy me, Nicole Doyle. You tell me what beer, and that'll determine whether a beer's in the offing.
Sorry, before I forget, like I do have another jersey up here, and I mean to thank Tim Plimmer as well, another good friend of the show who donated us this 2018 signed jersey as well. So shout out to you, Tim. I know you always listen to us on Spotify the next day. So yeah, thanks for that, mate. Looks great. As Murch said, the black, red, and white, and the grey is always still a popular colour combination with the club. So
I don't know if I should. I don't know if I should shout out my signed jerseys behind me, mate. This one here, this is the Warriors 2019 jersey, signed by the Warriors 2020 complete NRLW squad. So Georgia Hale organised that for me, so thank you to Georgia. And then we've got our 2021 home jersey, signed by the 2021 Warriors squad, and Glenn Harris organised that for me. So thank you to Glenn Harris. And then I've got Joshy Curran's signed headgear.
Yeah, no, that's an item. So we've got the past and the present.
Yeah. And then I've got the standard one that's just signed by a lot of different guys. I'll have to go through and have a look, but unfortunately,
Mike Doreen.
I don't have the two signatures that I cherish and would want the most, and that is now Roo's just bragging about making us feel bad that we don't own the amazing jerseys that he does.
Sorry, mate.
I don't have Mike Doreen's signature or the late great Sonny Fye. So there's a jersey the Warriors brought out. Was it the 2009 jersey that had Sonny Fye's?
Yeah, so the player issue jerseys had Sonny Fye's signature embroidered under the Warrior or above the Warriors logo.
Warriors logo, that's right, yeah.
Apparently there was quite a few of them that were for sale at one of the Canterbury end of season sales. I remember Charlie Rhys, the Jersey King himself, saying that they had a box of them at one of those Canterbury sales. People were like, legitimately with the Sonny Fye embroidered signature. So
Danny's got that
collector's item.
Danny's got the
nice
one jersey. Oh, okay. Can you?
Yeah, sweet.
Do you mind putting a photo up on our Facebook page?
Yeah, we'd love to see that.
Yeah,
we're massive jersey nerds here, so I'd love to see that.
Can you please wear the 95 jersey on air next time, Roo?
I've got the 95 away jersey. Yeah, I always love getting wearing that one because that's one of my favourite Warriors jerseys of all time. The white version.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't have.
I can do that for sure.
Yeah, I haven't got any of those. So. Yeah. Mate, this is we've gone on with the news for a bit. I
think that's covered everything and shout outs. So
questions. Any more questions you have for us before we continue on, peeps? We're quite happy to sit here all night and answer your questions. In the meantime, as we alluded to at the beginning of the show, in regards to our Patreon subscribers, we are now on Patreon. a membership platform that enables people to show their support for us and our content by signing up for a monthly subscription. Patreon supports multiple tier levels to suit all budgets, and each tier has its own rewards and benefits. But for now, we've just got a basic tier up, which is our bronze tier, and that's up and running on the Patreon page right now.
Yeah, that's right. And you can head to our Patreon page to show your support and subscribe to our bronze tier. Set at the lowest amount of possible. That's just $3 a month, which is next to nothing. And we've partnered up with Torius Screen Print to produce a range of merchandise, as you can see us wearing here, which we'll have available soon. And a shout out to Dan and Torius. He just opened his the very first non-alcoholic bar in the Redlands. So, yeah, well done, Dan, from Torius Screen Print. And we will be having some exclusive Patreon-only merchandise for our silver, gold, platinum, diamond level Patreon tiers. That will be coming probably early next year, I would say. We're just working through a few things there. And as I said at the start of the show, we thank you so much for your support of Roo Hammer, and your like generosity, I should say, goes towards the format paying for our licenses for like Restream and for Zoom and that kind of thing, so we can bring you guys the best possible product every week with our interviews. And just back on the exclusive merchandise, most of that will not be for sale, and that will be exclusive to Patreon only. So stay tuned, and we'll hopefully have some of that out for you early next year.
Yeah, beautiful. We'd like to thank all those who have subscribed to our bronze tier Patreon program so far, and the list is getting bigger and bigger. And we, as we said at the beginning of the show, we absolutely appreciate all the support we get. And like you said, it does help bring the visual presentation that we put together each and every week. Daniel Delore, Peregrine Falconer, Sean Kurzweil, the Kirch, Nick McKercher, Mary Carter, Fabian Moroa, Ciala Afamasanga, our good mate Stevie Williams all the way over there in Perth, Christian Catley, Alf Tuolave, TK Harris, Ted Clark, Ina Mete, Lisa Marie Bateman, Ken Wills, Nigel Phillips, and Kane Fraser. We thank you all so much for your support. We really do appreciate it.
Yeah, awesome guys. Yeah, thanks so much. And Malcolm. Keep your eyes out for what we'll be releasing next year, and I'm sure you won't be disappointed.
No.
Don't forget, if you do miss any of our live shows, you can catch up on Facebook page by going to the videos section there, or you can go to our YouTube channel and catch up there. And the easiest way to find our videos is to head to our link tree, and the link for that is just up on the screen now. That's a direct link to each of our live guest interviews and special presentations as well. And don't forget to hit subscribe and like and comment on our YouTube channel as well, so you'll never miss any of our streamed content, any of the stuff that we'll put up on YouTube. It doesn't cost anything, you know.
No, it doesn't, mate. It's free. If you're a podcast fan, you can catch all our episodes on our podcast platforms: Spotify, Apple, Google, Breaker, Radio Direct, iHeartRadio. There's a couple more that they've added to that too. I'm not sure what they are. Make sure you subscribe to us there. We upload our episodes so that they're ready to listen to every Thursday morning. And please head to our Roo Hammer Instagram page where we upload content daily to keep our followers informed of any upcoming events, any Warriors news, signing news, player movements, and all other Warriors-related content. We're currently in the process of doing appreciation posts for those that have represented our club so admirably in both the NRL and NRLW seasons. So, head to us and follow us there on Instagram.
Absolutely. Well, mate, that's it for another awesome show. And we just want to give another shout out to the merchandise himself, Jack Murchie. Thanks so much for giving up your time and coming on, having a great chat with us. Really good chat, actually. And talking all things Warriors current and for the season ahead. And we wish him all the best. Getting up to Redcliffe and tearing in at training.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thanks a lot, Jack, for coming on. Been a great supporter of our show all season, constantly coming up and talking to us at the game and and so forth. And I keep in touch with him, through various communication channels that I have open with some of the players. So yeah, he's always having a quick chat every week. The Kirch has just come up with a late question. If the Warriors don't make the 8 this season, should there be repercussions for the coaching or management staff? Yes,
I think so. Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely. There's no excuses for this year. With a full squad for preseason training all together in one spot. A bit more depth in the halves. Guys like AFB and Lodge coming back for their second year. Bit more stability in the forward pack.
Yep.
There shouldn't really be any excuse. Yeah, Torhu when he gets back from his ACL.
Yep.
There shouldn't really be any excuses this year.
No, definitely not. We've bought well during the season last year. We've got speed out wide now. We've got size in the middle. Real workers in the middle of the field. We've added a young hooker to our 30-man roster to work in with Wade Egan. We've got great coverage in the halves now with Johnson coming back and Ash Taylor on a train and troll, who we expect will probably get a contract deal. For me, we got 1,000 edge back rowers. So there's no excuse for mediocrity next year. Touch wood, injuries don't affect us, but at this stage, for me, we don't make the 8. It's a failed. Yeah, it's a failed season, and people need to be held accountable. Absolutely. All right, guys, thanks very much. Don't forget, next week we'll be back at the 7:30 Queensland time, 8:30 New South Wales time for Grant Ravelli, who's based in Queensland. And then our final 2 shows will be back at the 6:30 Queensland, 7:30 New South Wales time for New South Wales-based guests Mark Hodor and Ivan Cleary. So,
awesome.
But thanks everyone. Enjoy the rest of your week.
Every single one of you guys. Thank you so much for watching and your continued support. Enjoy the rest of your week, and as always, go the Warriors.
Go the Warriors.